YouTube family, what's good? What's good? It's Lee for Lee Fitness, Spirituality, Tarot, and Astrology. If you are listening to this on Facebook and Instagram, you can watch this video, the full entirety, on YouTube tonight, okay, at 8 o'clock. Today I want to talk about heartbreak and disappointment because a lot of people don't understand what causes heartbreak and disappointment, okay? There are two things that causes heartbreak and disappointment, okay? Number one is the way that you were raised, and number two is the way that we process things, okay? The minute that something happens to us that doesn't go our way, we will instantly internalize that. That's what we will do. We will internalize that, and we will internalize that in a negative way, okay? And we have to understand that it's the way we internalize things that causes heartbreak and disappointment, not the actual event that happened to us, okay? So when we talk about internalizing things, that means understanding who you are no matter what happens, okay? So let's go back to childhood, okay? Because this is where learning how to internalize things start. I've done a few videos called Parenting with the Birth Natal Chart, okay? We as people, okay, when we have a child, we're taught to dominate that child physically, okay? There is no talk of understanding your child internally, okay? And this is where the problem is in the world with people altogether. We're only taught to deal with the external world when the real war is going on in the internal world, okay? It's going on within us, not on the outer world. The outer world is a distraction. Okay? So, when a child has a parent that is, that yells, that hits, okay, that is instantly going to cause an abandonment and rejection issue, okay? Because children do not know how to internalize. So right there, we're going to have a problem. This is why I don't believe in spankings and hollering anymore. We have to understand the child's energy to connect with the child. You cannot physically connect with a child. It's just like sex. You can't physically connect with a person just with sex. You cannot connect with a child with just a physical relationship. You must have an internal and an external relationship, okay, with a child and an adult, both. And this is what astrology in the birth natal chart will teach you guys, okay? It will show you how to connect with people you normally could not connect with because you have no idea of energy. So I want to speed this up because I don't want to get off the topic of heartbreak and disappointment. But as a child, if the parent does not be clear on why they are not disciplining the child and they allow the child to heal on its own, the child takes these abandonment and rejection issues into their teenage and adult years, okay? Meaning they are internalizing, okay, the same feelings that they had whenever the first time you traumatized them. 8, 9 years old, okay? These are what you want to call, abandonment and rejection issues. They take these issues into teenage years, adult years, okay? Meaning they can't take criticism. The minute you criticize them, they get defensive, okay? They're insecure about your friends, any opposite sex friends you got. They're insecure about that. They're insecure about your phone use, okay? Things that don't even concern them. They're trying to control you because of those traumas, okay? And that comes from also heartbreak and disappointment, okay? So when we talking about the childhood here, it starts right there. So we already have disappointment and heartbreak through events that happen through childhoods, beatings, words that were said. Okay? Children do not know how to process these things. So we just put them in our subconscious. We get over them on our own. There's no one explaining to us that our parents are trying to do this for our better good. Now, are there some people who make it through perfect? Yes, very few. But what I'm trying to say here is heartache and disappointment and how we process things start in the beginning as children. Okay? So, we're going to go to adulthood. When you have gone through your first 21 years of an external relationship with everybody you know, you have also done something that you're unaware of. You separated the mind from the heart. And you can never separate the mind from the heart. So when you separate the mind from the heart, okay, and everything that you do is just coming from the heart, this is what leads to pain and suffering. Okay? This is what leads to pain and suffering because you disconnected the mind from the heart. You're only reacting and thinking emotionally. And this is what's wrong with the world right now. There's no logical thinking that's going on with the emotional thinking. It's like everyone is just heartfelt. And this is why everyone is emotionally cut off in relationships, because they have to understand. You have to realign yourself with your mind and your heart, both. You got to have that alignment. If you do not have that alignment, you are going to keep having heartbreak and disappointment, because the heart cannot think. It can only react, and it's going to react emotionally, either in a good way from 0 to 100 or a bad way from 0 to 100. The heart needs the mind. It cannot work on its own, and everybody is working with just their heart. They're just working with just their heart, and they're getting heartbroken and disappointment because they never learn how to internalize things. We internalize rejection every time in a negative way. When somebody rejects us, you know what the first thing we say is, "What's wrong with me?" And there's several reasons why a person could reject you. And I did a video on this on Facebook. A person can reject you because they may have something wrong with them that they don't want you to know about. But see, you internalizing, you don't even know that. But you will internalize that in a negative way to yourself. A person may reject you because they know that they ain't no good and you too good for them. And they don't want to hurt you. See what I'm saying? But because you don't know how to internalize, you just thinking with the heart, why they don't want me, what I do to them, I'm a good person. You see how we put ourselves in these self-sabotaging behaviors? And this is what causes depression. This is what causes anxiety. This is what causes PTSD, these things that these people made up. But actually we cause these things by how we internalize to ourselves. And we have to learn how to internalize to ourselves properly. Okay? That's what we need to learn. That's why I told everybody, we have to delete what we learned. If you want to be free, happy, in control of yourself again, you better read your birth natal chart. Read your birth natal chart. Understand your birth natal chart. Understand that you are a multifaceted person. You're not just an Aquarius. You're not just a Gemini. You're not just a Leo. You have 5 other aspects of yourself, and these things you must Learn how to control, or you'll just keep self-sabotaging over and over and over again because you don't understand who you are internally. You're living on the external world. Good. Okay, guys? So understand this. Heartache and disappointment comes from how we process things. From childhood to adults being adults. Okay? Separating the mind from the heart. You must keep logic with that. If you know ain't nothing wrong with you, and somebody just all of a sudden ghosts you, or they don't want to be with you no more, they have a problem. It's not you. And don't let nobody tell you that. Because if you all in with the relationship and you love them and you ain't got no problem with them, they the one with the problem, that's self-explanatory right there. You have to learn not to process someone else's dysfunctions and issues internally negative to yourself. Virgos, Pisces, Libras, you got to stop taking on everybody. And y'all listen, you know I don't talk about one sign. It's your chart. So you could be any sign. If you have Virgo, Pisces, Libra in your chart, Cancer, okay, you got to watch out for people who will try to, y'all are the easiest people who will dip down into those holes. You will internalize things personally. Scorpio also. You will internalize things the wrong way because you heartfelt. You don't put the logic with the emotion. It's like you instantly break down and you'll internalize in a negative way. Okay, so listen, guys, this is Lee for Lee Fitness, Spirituality, Tarot, and Astrology. Birth natal charts are free. Again, you can hit me on all three platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Multiple charts are a service. Readings, I do them all. Compatibility, personal, health, career. It's all in one reading, guys. And a guy did ask me about a price. I'm going to let y'all know. My readings are $60. If you want multiple birth natal charts, it's $10 a chart after the first free one. Everyone gets a free birth natal chart. Everyone gets a free one. After that first one, it's $10 a chart. Okay, guys? I love you. One love.